On Saturdays, what I like to do, I should say what I'm starting to do on Saturdays, because during the week I'm working inside of the business and inside of the businesses. So I'm rolling up my sleeves, I'm getting in the weeds of the businesses, whether it be the portfolio companies or whether it be TFX as the holding said company. But anyway, so on Saturdays, what I'm doing now is really looking more at a top level, working on the business. So what I created was this document, which I call the TFX System of Growth and Implementation. And where I start at is looking at the P&L, looking at the profit and loss statement, and looking at where we're at in terms of our revenue goals, and what is blocking us from getting to that revenue goal. So I take the time to visualize out. I'm looking at this because I'm looking at it. Visualize out what are the blockers that are blocking from moving forward. So it's usually in 6 areas where it's being blocked. First area that I look at, I'm looking at the offer, and I'm asking myself, is our offer dialed in? So we're looking at the way we break down the offer is, excuse me, we're looking at what outcome we're trying to get for our clients. We're looking at what's the likelihood or their perceived likelihood of service being delivered and results given. What's the time achievement? How long will it take to do that, and how much effort will it take on their end? Because we want them not to even think, we want to take out as much as the thinking as possible. So the offer is the first thing that I'm assessing, I'm diagnosing, because if the revenue's not where it needs to be, it's because there might be something off with the offer. The second thing I'm looking at is demand generation. Are we creating enough demand for said service? Or the inverse of looking at it is the demand should already be there for what we're offering because we took the time to do the research. Can we capture that demand? Are we capturing that demand? And that comes to different ways. Are we using, like right now, we're doing, with this vlog itself and everything we're building here in the media aspect with the YouTube channel is a part of creating or tapping into an existing demand that we can capture. If you notice this vlog right now, if you look at the banner, if you look at the description, looking at descriptions, it's more geared and focused for who our ICP is. So we're really establishing ourselves to be able to capture as much demand. So the third thing is go-to-market and sales. What is it? Is the process, the go-to-market, let's look at go-to-market first. Is the go-to-market processes dialed in? Are there any leaks in their processes? If there are leaks, do we need to go in and fix it? What's it going to cost? All of these, and that cost is time or money. We're looking at that go-to-market process. How are you getting into the market? Consistently, over and over again. Sales. Is there a sales system in place? That usually starts with a discovery call. Are the discovery calls really mining out the pain points that need to be, taken care of? And then how are we closing the deals? And so we're looking at the whole process and making sure that there's no leaks and it's seamless. The fourth thing is onboarding. Once we get a client, how are we onboarding this client? What are they experiencing in the first hour? What are they experiencing in 3 days after they, signed the dotted line and committed and wired the money over? What are they seeing 14 days, 30 days out? So our onboarding process has to be, of course, stellar, excellent, because that's how you retain the customer. Fifth thing is fulfillment. Once we onboard them, how are we fulfilling the services? Are we fulfilling these services in a timely manner? Do we have the human resources to fulfill, like the talent, the systems, the process, so that once we do it, it's done, it's over and over again. We know the language of the industry. All of these things go into the fulfillment. And then the last one is optimize. Being able to take all the data that was generated from that whole process and then continue to optimize optimize on the services so that when we go back into the offer, we build the offer. So it's this loop. Maybe I'll do some type of illustration, but there's this loop that we're constantly following. That's what I'm doing today, is like looking at that loop and seeing every part within TFX and then the portfolio companies as well. Okay, I'm going to show you really quick what this looks like. Let me just show you rather than just explain it to you. So as you see here, this is the TFX infrastructure, and these are how I'm looking at the blockers. So you see here is the blockers, and then these are those 6 areas where I'm looking at. So I'm looking at the offer and I'm writing down, okay, is this locked in? Is the pricing locked in? The demand generation, is everything set up? Um, Establishing our database, and it goes on and on and on. So as you see here, this is what it looks like visually when, and I'm going to go through that with all of the TFX and then the portfolio companies that we have as well, so that when we go into the week on Monday, we're getting better and better, continuous improvement. What are you doing? Oh. All right, so I'm done for the day. I was at earlier working on the business. Now we're heading to Sage has what do you have, Sage? A gymnastic meet. So if you made it this far in the video, really appreciate you. Don't take it lightly. But that said, we're out.
Go peace.
Peace. Peace.